Mojave and Shasta tribes. The Shasta inhabited the Mount Shasta area in basically northern California to southern Oregon, and their way of living consisted of residing in village communities along rivers. They had their own dialect and they had their own social structure. The Mojave inhabited present-day California, Arizona, and Nevada, and they lived along the Colorado River. They were in three main groups, and they had a rich culture overall. Prior to major conflict, the Shasta got disease from Hudson's Bay Company from fur trappers, and they spread a malaria epidemic, which made the population decline heavily. With the Mojave, prior to major conflict, was the Jedediah Smith's Party, where the Jedediah Smith's Party disregarded the land rights of both the Native Americans and the Mexican government and still led on their expedition to California. There were many incidents, and while crossing the Colorado River, the Mojave killed 10 of their men and captured 2 of their women. And they also had disputes with Hudson's Bay Company too, where the Hudson's Bay Company killed 26 Mojave people. During the gold rush, it was basically the mass migration of 300,000 people to California after gold was found. The California gold rush had effects on the Native Americans like displacement, violence, disease, loss, and enslavement. During the gold rush, the Shasta was involved in the California Indian Wars, but they were mildly involved, not as much as the other tribes. They faced a lot of settler violence where Shasta women were raped, and men and women and children were killed by settlers. The U.S. military would drive the Shasta out of their land, and the Shasta would endure mass population loss due to disease and violence after this. For the Mojave during the gold rush, they had a Mojave War, and the war sparked from the mass migrations to California, and it caused many misunderstandings and incidents with settlers over resources. And the U.S. military had involvement too, where under Lieutenant William Hoffman, 600 U.S. soldiers were sent over to fight the Mojave threat, and Fort Mojave was built, and it was built to protect American travelers. The Mojave was more resilient to the U.S. military than the Shasta, but it was most likely due to the size difference. The Mojave was moved to reservations, and some still live on ancestral lands after the war. Currently, the Shasta is still revitalizing their culture, restoring traditional landscapes, and educating the public over the centuries of displacement. Currently, the Mojave are still celebrating traditions, operating schools, supporting agriculture, providing social services, and running casinos/golf courses. The Mojave is still very successful, and the Shasta is still rebuilding. Thank you for listening.